Inferno, Canto II. The day was leaving, and the brown air was taking away the animals that are on the ground from their toils, and I only one. He was preparing me to support the war, yes, of the path, and yes, of the stones, which will retract the mind that does not err. O Muses, O high ingenuity, now help me. O mind that you wrote what I saw, your nobility will appear here. I began, Poet who guides me, look at my virtue if it is powerful, before you trust me at the high pass. You say that Silvio's relative, still corruptible, went to the immortal century and was sensibly. However, if I was the adversary of all bad courtesies, thinking of the lofty effect that had to come out of him, and who and what it does not seem unworthy to a man of intellect, who was of Alma Rome and of her empire in the empyrean heaven for chosen father, which, to tell the truth, was established for the holy place where the successor of the Major Piero sits. For this journey on which you boast, he learned things that were the cause of his victory and of the papal mantle. Then the chosen vessel went there to bring comfort to that faith which is the beginning of the way of salvation. But I, why come there? Or who grants it? I am not Enea, I am not Paulo. I am worthy of this, neither I nor others, he believes. Therefore, if I abandon myself to coming, I fear that the coming is not crazy. You are wise. Mean me, I'm not talking. And who is he who gives away what he wanted and changes his proposal through new thoughts, so that everything is removed from starting? Such I made myself on that dark coast, because, thinking, I consumed the enterprise that was so tough in beginning. If I have well understood your word, replied that shadow of the magnanimous one, your soul is offended by cowardice, which many times the man encumbered, so that he turns him away from an honourable enterprise, like a false sight of a beast when he's in the shadow. From this theme, accio che tu ti solve, dirotti per ch'io veni, and what I intesi in the first point that hurts me about you. I was among those who are suspended, and a woman she called me blessed and beautiful, so that I asked her to command. Her eyes shone more than the star, and he began to tell me softly and plainly, with an angelic voice in her language, O courteous Mantuan soul, whose fame still endures in the world, and will last as long as the world is far away, my friend, and not by fortune, nor by the deserted beaches impeded so in the way, that vault is for fear, and I fear that he may not already be so lost that I have risen late to help. For what I have heard of him in heaven, now move, and with your adorned word, and with what you need to save him, help her so that she is consoled. I'm Beatrice, I'll make you go. I come to the place where I long to return. Love me moved, that makes me speak. When I am before my Lord, I will often praise you to him. He was silent then, and then I began, O only woman of virtue, through whom human species exceeds every contentment of that heaven which has less circles on it, your commandment pleases me so much that it is late for me to obey if it were already. There is no longer anyone but to open your talent to me. But tell me the reason that prevents you from descending here down to this center of the large place where you burn to return. Since you want to save so much inside, divert briefly, he replied, because I'm not afraid to come in here. One must be afraid of only those things which have the power to do harm to others, of the others not, because they are not fearful. I am made by God, thanks to him, such that your misery does not touch me, nor does the flame of this fire assail me. Woman, it's kind in heaven that you pity this impediment where I send you, so that hard judgment up there fringes. This asked Lucia in her question, and said, Now your faithful need you, and I recommend him to you. Lucia, enemy of every cruel one, moved herself, and she came to the place where I was, who sat down with the ancient Rachele. She said, Beatrice, true praise of God, why don't you help those who loved you so much that she came out of the vulgar ranks for you? Don't you hear the pity of her weeping? Don't you see death fighting him on the river where the sea has no boast? In the world there were never people quick to do them good or to avoid their harm, as I, after these words made, I came down here from my blessed seat, trusting in your honest speech, which honours you and those who have heard it. After he had reasoned this with me, he turned away with tears in his shining eyes, whereupon he made me come more quickly, and I came to you as she wished. From before that fair, you took away that from the beautiful mountain the short journey took you away. So, what is it? Why did I stay? Why so much cowardice in your heart attracts? Why do you not have boldness and frankness, after these three blessed women take care of you in the court of heaven, and my speech promises you so much good? Like little flowers from the nocturnal, frozen and closed, after the sun whitens them, they all stand up open in their stem. Such did I become weary of my virtue, and so much boldness ran into my heart, that I began as a free person. O pitiful she who rescued me, and you, courteous, who quickly obeyed the true words he gave you. You have so longed my heart to come with your words, that I have returned to the first proposal. Now go, for a single will is of both, you leader, you lord, and you master. So I told them, and then what move was it? I entered the path tall and sylvan,